And I do make it a goal every day to reach out to like 7 people. Like whether it be like you were on my heart today, like something made you come on my mind, everything good, like anything I can help you with. And I just like do that very thoughtfully every single day. So I make it a habit. The keeping in touch is, I think, there's an art to it, right? I think I look at long arcs. I don't look at short like transactions. So I'm not a transactional person. So I'm thinking at long arcs. And if you think about long arcs of relationships, um, they go deep, right? So for me in mentoring relationships, I go very deep quickly, right? So I get to see if it's a match because it may not be a match, right? We may not jive. And then the second is like I like thoughtfully think about like that as a relationship that I invest in over the long arc. So making sure they're good and making sure I'm good, which many times people think of the mentor mentee as a one directional. And I early on learned that the mentees also need some support and they need somebody to check in on them. And texting and email like make it so much easier than when I first started out. Um, the same with my mentees. I am very intentional and I try and I pray about this a lot to also have people put on my heart that I should be reaching out to every day. And I do make it a goal every day to reach out to like 7 people. Like whether it be like you were on my heart today, like something made you come on my mind, like everything good, like anything I can help you with, anything like let me bring you up to speed. And I just like do that very thoughtfully every single day. So I make it a habit. And that allows for me to build a relationship well in advance of me ever needing anything. And also helps them to understand so that when they give me advice, it's very tailored. It's not like, I'm not buying off the shelf. I'm buying custom, right? Right. Yeah. Well, I want custom advice. And that's the same for my mentees. That allows me like that, like curiosity and like fostering my first love, like my first love of people helps me to, when I listen to someone talk, I could tell them immediately 5 people that they should be talking to. Like I can tell you, you tell me a little bit about your story, I can tell you 3 people off the top of my head that you need to know. And it's because I know those 3 people's stories. I know what they are interested in. I know what they're dealing with. And I can make those connections. The best connections I make, I think, are between people who would never collide, right? People who are living, in my mind, parallel lives, trying to figure this all out and never collide and never come together. And um, that's like when I get joy about it. I'll tell you a story, one story of like, I love connecting kids too, like kids to other kids that are like trying on the same path. Um, a friend had adopted her niece when her brother died. And so she writes on LinkedIn, my niece, this is a friend that lives way, way across the country. I would consider her a mentor as well. And she's telling me this girl's going to Cornell in veterinary science. So the assistant to one of my other mentors, her secretary tells me her daughter's going to Cornell in veterinary science, same year. So I'm like, oh, these kids have to meet each other. They connected, have been roommates. They graduate next month from from veterinary school at Cornell. But they never would have met. They both are basically in single family. I mean, it's really just like beautiful of like being able to put people together and they can be a source of encouragement to one another. They can connect with one another. And I do that for people in business. Like I have a mentee who he grew up. I mean, he has just an amazing story. Wanted to go into finance. I connected him with another friend who's in finance. Now his summer internship is at the company. It's like just like these 2 people need to be together and they need to somehow collide on this journey of life. And like maybe I'm an instrument to like put those 2 together and match them up and they then get to like go off into the sunset and something amazing happens because of it. So I am always thinking of like how can I make sure people who should be colliding, connecting, are meeting one another?
So I have 10,000 more questions, but
Me
I'm going to
too.
say here. So I think, you didn't say this exact word, but there's an intentionality around this that you're hyper involved in. How do you, because I'm over here going, I think my thought is, God, I'm a terrible person. I need to,
No, no, you're not. No, you're not.
I think
it'd be hard having guests because we learn how terrible we are.
I
Maybe
you
that's
know.
a good
Well, this is just a comment in between your thought process. I think a common thread or something that you say a lot is being a vehicle or a vessel, or you're just. And I think that seems to me how you approach the world, as like this thread of servitude, and like I'm just the vessel. Like that's what I am, and that is a very refreshing way of thinking, and it's hard to think that way and to be so selfless. But I think that just in this small amount of time we spent together makes you special. That way of thinking, because everything you've said, that's all. It all comes back to always that train of thought.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you a pretty hardcore tactical question, right? Because we have business. How do you stay that intentional? 7 contacts a day. How do you stay that intentional amidst all of the other things that you have to do? Is it priority? Do you just work harder than us? Are you more? Are you just more productive than us? Tactically, how do you get all of that done?
Yeah.
Considering you have a very significant and important and demanding job, how do you get all of it done tactically? I mean, nuts and bolts. I have a list. It's written on my arm. You just can't see it. Like tactically, how do you get all that done?
Yeah.
With that level of intentionality.
Yeah. Yeah. So a couple of things. One, I have a photographic memory, so I do keep lists in my head. I do write them down as well, but I do keep them in my head. I use every minute of every day. I like really use every minute of every day. So like every moment.
What time do you wake up?
I may go to 7. I'm a late.
Okay.
But I go to sleep at midnight.
Okay, yeah. So it's a range, right? A range is a range.
Yeah.
I'm always just curious.
Yeah.
Productivity is input and output, right? You want to know the productivity quotient.
I text. There's no car ride where I'm not talking. There's not. I like engaging with people, so like I'm still up at 11. So there are people who are in the Midwest or on the West Coast that's when they are like prime time, and I'm talking to them. But in the morning when I wake up, I'm on the phone, or I'm texting, or I'm talking to someone. And some of them are longer than others. And really, I'm telling you the prayer of people put on my heart. There are people who I'll reach out to and they'll say, God must have sent you to me. Like, because I needed like somebody to just speak life over me in this moment, or like, how could you have known I was going through that? Or like it just happens that way. And even kids, like, you'd be surprised how it also is reciprocal. Like, I have a mentee, I started mentoring her when she was 7. Like, she's now 14, and she'll be like, Miss Alicia, you were on my heart. I think she's heard me say it. But like now she's starting to emulate, or follow the example of like, part of like living a life is to like be interested in others, to care about others, to reach out to others, and to do that with like no agenda. Other than like, it's important to care for one another, and I think that's really important in every time, in every phase of life. And I think all of us have sometimes gotten a call from someone that made our day better, or someone sent us a note and it boosted us up. So I think it's really just really important it's a part of being a good human to do that.